Welcome home, Raiders. Tonight, we are going back to Alterac Valley? Yeah, looks that way. As Convert to Raid presents the Battlenet News. Welcome, friends, to another fine show. We've got a full cast as well. My name is Pat Crane, and today is, what is it, June 5th. It's already June 2018, and it is now 9:11 in the PM Central Time. Thank you so much for joining us from all around the Blizzard universe. And like I said, we do have a full cast today, so I will go from my left, your right. Not really. From Battlenet Sports and Lag and Balls and a bunch of other stuff, it's Thyst. Hey, Thyst.
Hi.
Hi.
What's up?
Are you having a good day?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
So good.
Good.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah, you're welcome. And also from Merely a Setback. Wait, let me make sure. Yes, Merely a Setback, a show that had Scott Johnson on it. Sharku.
Did you just forget the name of my show, but remember my last guest host?
No, I got that. It's all good.
I have a Heroes of the Storm joke for you.
Uh-oh. Let me get you back. Okay, go ahead.
What's Malfurion's favorite soda?
I don't know. What is Malfurion's favorite soda?
Root beer.
Oh, boy. All right. So, moving on from Lords of the Storm, a podcast about Heroes of the Storm, it's Gizmo!
Pat, aren't you glad it's already June? Because it's closer to Battle for Azeroth.
We're done. We're done here.
Mine was better. I win.
That's a show, everybody. See you later.
I quit.
That's all there is. Well, welcome, everybody. Welcome, gang. Welcome, Twitch chat. Welcome to you guys that are out there in the real world doing things and stuff. Probably. Yeah.
I feel like things are being done.
Yeah, probably. Welcome to the show. We've got a little bit of stuff for you. Maybe not. Actually, we do have some pretty big stuff, especially when it comes to Heroes of the Storm. And we just got an update for Overwatch stuff, which is actually pretty great. On the PTR, still cooking along. And of course, Shark is here, so we have to talk about the new comic that was released today as well.
That's true. And I said the PTR was going to be out today, and I was super wrong. Super wrong about it. Yep. I was hopeful, but maybe next week.
You were super wrong. The EU Blizzard gear store is up. So, that's something new as well.
That's PTR, though, Pat.
It's not the PTR. It's not the PTR.
No. I can't play the EU gear store.
Well, you can't, but but all of Europe can. So that's great. Now they can play that. They can play that game. Let's go around the room here and just kind of figure out what's been going on. Gizmo, I'll start with you. What have you been up to? It's been a couple of weeks. It's been a hot minute. What's been going on?
I've been up to a lot. I've been trying to get the old stream going again. It kind of got re-energized with the next Mania stuff, so I've been streaming a lot of Heroes.
Okay.
Actually played some Warcraft today. I hopped on old Illa Don't.
Yeah.
Illa Don't.
Yeah.
I don't. Some bad joke from a show a long time ago that I made.
Yes.
But I also this last weekend participated in the Heroes Charity Brawl.
That's right.
And Jules was part of that.
Yeah. And
it was incredible. This was our third year. It was a 5-hour stream, and in that time, we raised $5,340 for the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
That's awesome. Congratulations to everybody. And it was the guys from Lords of the Storm. It was the guys from Core. It was who else was there?
Into the
Nexus.
Core.
Yep.
Heroes Forge-ish. But that show just ended because Jeff actually got a job at Blizzard, so he had to stop. And then,
way to go, Jeff.
Way to go.
Getting jobs and ruining podcasts.
Yeah.
Jerk.
Right.
But yeah, and Jules from starting Fim Frosty was able to come and join that call, which is cool.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, very nice. Glad to have you on the show. Shark, what's been going on with you? Is there anything special, cool? Oh, you were a lion. But that's not really a game.
No, but I'm a professional actor, so that's everything.
Oh, that's
you're a lion.
I am. I get to play a lion in a children's show that's coming up. So if anybody's in the Western North Carolina area and you want to come see a children's show, head out to Ensemble Stage. It's going to be great. Anyway, no, we're as far as video games go, I play a little bit of WoW here and there, soloing up, leveling up alts, same thing as normal. Yeah. I did get into some Heroes of the Storm a little bit more. Hooked back up with some of the old Adults with Jobs guys.
Nice.
And crashed one of their practices one night, and we had some fun doing some 3v3 ARAM stuff. It was good times. But yeah, I'm kind of just sort of riding that Blizzard hiatus a bit.
Well,
waiting for a new expansion to come out. Us WoW players, we don't have much going on right now other than the beta PTR, and even that's getting kind of stale, ready for something new.
The nice part is that it is summer. It's the beginning of summer, so you could do a lot of outdoor adventuring if you are.
What?
I know. I'm a bit of an indoor kid myself, but
I've been outside. I've seen the sun.
Yeah.
It's too hot.
It scares me. No.
But, yeah. I start to my skin starts to bubble and steam, and I don't know what to do about it.
It's kind of a tough time for a lot of gamer geeks. So.
I make this involuntary hissing noise when I walk outside. And I don't know.
Nice.
But anyway, other than that, it's great. It's
awesome.
It's nice. It's nice.
Well, Thyst, how about you? What's been going on in your world? I know that you do all the things. So.
Oh yeah. I've been doing stuff. What?
Right.
I've been PvPing lots. We just came off of the BG bonus week and the Deep Wind Dunk Brawl. There's lots of B's in what I just said.
Yeah.
Not like actual B's, but the letter B.
Right.
So I've been doing that. And as far as Overwatch goes, I've realized that I'm just really, really good at Diva and Moira. So good.
Yeah.
Ridiculously good. You and I had a few matches the other night.
Yep.
We've been trying to play together more often and stream it because it's fun,
Right.
Hanging out. We did Total Mayhem a bunch because that's your favorite mode.
It's my favorite mode because everything is just on full tilt the entire time.
Yeah. It speaks to your destructive nature. Yeah.
It really does.
I know.
You're right.
Yeah, I know, but that's fun. And, I've been watching all the esports and watching Gizmo stream.
There you go.
It's a good time.
You're the one. That's what Gizmo said. He took a little breath in and he went, you were watching? You were the one.
Of course.
All right.
The best is when he streams while I'm at work because then it's he's there with me.
Aw, that's so nice. That's so nice. Well, welcome. You know what I've been doing? I've been doing Warlock. I've been trying to figure out Warlock. I've got all the artifacts now. I'm ready to start leveling up properly.
Now, is this in live or beta?
In live.
Okay, cool.
Because
have you played it in beta yet?
I have not.
It's great in live.
Yeah.
But especially if you like demonology, beta is magnifique.
I don't like demonology.
I really love it.
So all I like is I really like Destro.
Destro's doing pretty good too.
I played Destro back in ICC for a while, and that was a lot of fun. But leveling, affliction or whatever, who cares? It doesn't really matter.
Dots. You got my dots.
Just dots. Run around. I remember back in Wrath, just going around Borean Tundra and just dotting up all the rhinos and just running around until they all died. That was
good times back in the day.
Great times.
I'm excited to be range damage with you, Pat.
Hey,
I assume this is a Horde character.
No. This would be an Alliance character.
Is it a gnome?
It is a gnome.
Of course,
it is a gnome, and his name is Morsel.
I'm quitting.
His name is Morsel. It's very cute.
Quitting our friendship.
And he's a warlock, so he's also kind of a little dark.
My first warlock was a gnome warlock named Archibald.
I think all of my warlocks, all like 20 I've created and leveled up to level 20 and then deleted, have been gnomes because it's the only logical race at warlock.
Right.
I feel like on the Alliance side, at least, maybe Worgen, but yeah, I agree.
Right.
I just can't stand any of you right now.
Well, you know,
go ahead, laugh.
You know,
you just wait.
Thyst. Somebody has to play the bad guy. Somebody has to play the bad guy in World of Warcraft, and
are you referring to you?
Yeah, all the Alliance players. Alliance is the bad, because I started off as Horde, and I'm like going, you know what? I'm tired of playing the good guy. I'm just tired of it.
We've talked about this on my other show a few times, but gnomes need some love from the story team on Blizzard, man. There's so many cool things. Like, could you imagine like a big fight with Mechatork, like Terran Gregory, you know, animating this huge... he had it a little bit in the Wrathgate. Not Wrathgate. The Legion Island, Burning Island.
The Burning Island
where we lost our king. Right. And he had Mechatork there, and he's kind of fighting and looking around. All of a sudden, his robot just punches a demon in the face. It was great. I would love to see... We need more gnome love. I'm just saying, there's so much gnome hating going on. I had to defend him a little bit.
Right.
Did you?
Right. Did I what?
What?
Huh? I don't know.
This is mad at me. It's okay. It's fine. I've got Hordes too. My warlock is undead, if it makes you feel any better.
That does make me feel better. Thank you.
Good. You're welcome.
That makes me feel really great.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, that's always lovely. You know what? I think that we need to get into the news soon, because we started to touch on some stuff that I'm like going, you know what? I really kind of want to talk about that further, but of course we have to get through this thing first. It's the Convert Rate Top 10. Yes, it's the Convert to Raid Top 10 once again, and I'll play that music. There we go. Okay. So we know, guys, that very soon, it wasn't this week, Shark, but very soon we're going to see patch 8.0 pop up on the PTR, and it's going to be like, oh man, it's coming. It's coming. BFA is coming. So we are getting a little misty-eyed today with the top 10. And this week, we're talking about the top 10 things we'll miss most about Legion. Little misty. Little misty. Number 10. Kicking fish for fun and profit. That's the number 10
to help
thing.
them.
Yeah.
That's my favorite High Mountain Tauren joke. Like, if you do /Silly at a High Mountain Tauren, they're like, one time I got an adventurer. I convinced him to kick fish into a river. Oh, wait, was that you? And I lost it when I heard that. I was like, that's the best joke.
That's a good one. All right. Top 10 things we'll miss about Legion. Number 9. Falling off Dalaran, part 2.
I mean, a few times. A lot of times. Whatever.
It happens.
Fine.
It happens. I did it. I've done it deliberately many times. Just because I was like, I'll just swim. It's fine.
Sure.
It's fine. Number 8. Visiting old withered gym with 40 of your closest friends. And of course I spelled that wrong. But never mind the misspelling. All right. Number 7. Friendly, helpful seagulls. They never get in the way of anything.
Never. They're so great. I loved seeing them in the midst of Mythic Plus.
Right. The number 6 thing we'll miss most about Legion, taking recreational trips to High Mountain. I don't know why that's in quotes.
Recreational.
I don't know why recreational is in quotes. That's weird.
But you can't go there medicinally, right?
I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about. All right.
High Mountain is Azeroth's version of Colorado, I think.
It's a green state? All right.
Yeah.
Emerald Dream. There we go. Number 5. Being interrogated about what we're hiding. What are you hiding?
What are you hiding?
What are you hiding? What are you hiding? So, the number 4 thing we'll miss most about Legion: avoiding eye contact with the opposite faction members in your class hall. Just
so awkward.
Just look away. Just look away, everybody. It's fine. It's fine. Number 3. That boost of confidence you get from failing at the Mage Tower for the 25th time in a row. Damn you, Mage Tower!
Yeah, it's like I've spent maybe 45 to 50 hours on this, but this time I got it.
Nope. The number 2 thing we'll miss most about Legion is reenacting classic Star Trek moments on the bridge of the Vindicar. Number 1. Number 1. Number 2.
Engage.
Wait, engage. That's right.
Engage.
Engage.
Endgame. Endgame.
Endgame. Endgame. And the number 1 thing we'll miss most about Legion: all those damn demons. Whoops, and then I forgot the card on the end of it. Hi! So that was that. And we will henceforth go directly into the news. There we go. And of course, as always, we will start with World of Warcraft.
Let the suffering commence.
Whoa. So one of the things that I wanted to touch base on is one of the reasons why I am leveling up my characters to 110 is because I know it's coming up for, well, kind of. It was released on the beta, and that was the burning of Teldrassil scenario. I don't know if you guys heard about this or anything like that, but it was up for a little bit, one day, just, popped right up there, and it's like, oh man, the mad rush was on, everybody went to go play it, and it's basically, I would kind of liken it to the Warlords Open, where you go through and you have to do a bunch of stuff, and then it kind of opens up dailies but it's kind of like a part 1 of the situation. They didn't actually get into the actual lighting of the tree. I don't.
Yeah,
it's not like Christmas time, but I mean, it's
a little like Christmas time. Right. I watched the video. I skimmed it, and it's just there's fire, there's wisps, death, killing it. Well, it was from the Alliance perspective, so I didn't really understand what was happening, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to things like these. Like what struck me as kind of weird is like. At the beginning of the quest, they're telling you to like go and slay the Horde, It's like, look what the Horde did. And it's so, I almost got taken aback because I'm just like, excuse me? Like what? But like, that's World of Warcraft. Like that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to fight each other, but it's just been so long since like we were directly fighting each other that it's strange to see people say, go and kill the Horde. It's like, okay.
Right.
That's weird.
I wish I knew what that was like. I've been a double agent for far too long.
Oh.
It's kind of sad. Because I'm like, oh yeah. Now, I'm the guy that will accidentally fly into the wrong part of Dalaran and get kicked out because I'm like, oh, I'm on my Worgen. I forgot.
Right.
I thought I was on my Doran. Never mind.
Yeah. So one of the things that we learned, and actually I think we were told about this previously, was that that this area, this new questing area and stuff like that is going to be over on Darkshore, right? So we're going to be on Darkshore and kind of run around over there. This is only for 110s. This is only going to be for those at level 110. It's going to be, basically an instanced area for all level 110s so that you can actually get this storyline. So if you are a regular, level 30, 20, whatever it is, just strolling through Darkshore, you'll be like, oh, this is just like normal, no big deal. And if you're 110, all hell is breaking loose, and you're trying to figure out what's going on. So
yeah,
so that's why I'm trying to get all my tunes up to 110 so that I can go through this multiple times and get more XPs. I don't know.
Makes sense. Yeah, I saw an NPC that had like, show me the way this used to be before all this happened, kind of like, yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. I like that feature.
Mm-hmm.
I like that, like, the same place can be like something new and something old at the same time. Although it is kind of annoying when you need to go in there and it's like set on the wrong thing and you have to go and find the thing and then do the thing. But ultimately it's fine, doing things.
Those are great words. All of them.
Thanks. I'm professional.
Yep. Totally. And so I'm just Gizmo. You've been playing a little bit of WoW lately. Is this kind of a scenario type of thing something that you look forward to?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was a great way to kick off Legion. And I'm always down. I think it's good storytelling to get things, going right off the bat. So
right.
I'm excited for it. I'm still just struggling to figure out what I'm going to play.
Right. What are you going to play? Yeah. What's in between?
World of Warcraft.
Mage Hunter.
It's not. I got super burnt out on the Mage in one expansion. So it could possibly go back to the Hunter, mainly because there are alpacas coming to the game.
Oh, so cool!
That are incredible. But I'm also leveling a rogue, druid, and getting my demon hunter up to 110 finally. So
those druids, man.
Demon hunter could feel weird in this expansion though, because it kind of feels like their purpose is gone.
Right.
But I don't know.
Well, and Illidan's off doing something, so he's gone.
That's kind of what happened to the Death Knights too, though, after Wrath of the Lich King.
Yeah, I suppose.
Is because their whole thing was they got together to take out Arthas because they're all mad at him for killing them, right? And then when he was taken out, so now what do we do? I guess we help them fight Deathwing now too. All right, cool. So that's probably I'm guessing that's, but it did. I remember I played Death Knight back then, and it did feel kind of weird. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh well,
yep.
I guess now are we friends now?
That's here, so
might as well. I don't have anything else to do. Because I can't die.
Right. Again.
So I might as well.
Well, and now
this or just standing here smelling rotten.
And that seems to be kind of a theme that's going to be coming back with Sylvanas. I think a little bit more as well. The whole, knowing what I know about the beta and stuff, about the different scenarios, about the battle for Lordaeron, all this type of stuff. She's basically reanimating a bunch of people.
Yes.
And killing off a bunch of people. And it's just this weird give and take of Second Life, if you will. So it was kind of, I think that's a big theme we're going to see come back.
Definitely.
It'll be interesting. It will be interesting. I think it was last week or a couple weeks ago, we were talking about the $5 million mount or 5 million gold mount. It's $500 estimated, right? The Brutosaur auctioneer mount. Well, now we have a battle pet for 1 million gold. 1 million gold for a battle pet. Not really.
No,
you just have to have 1 million gold, and then it'll sell. Then you can get the pet. It's like this Fabergé egg thing. What's up, Thyst?
I love this. It's adorable. It's one of those fancy puffy chickens. His name is Francois, the Fabergé egg, or like the Fabergé chicken, I guess. But if you come up to him and you don't have 1 million gold in your bags, he snootily pecks at your feet. And then if you do have over 1 million gold in your inventory, he still snootily pecks at your feet, but then you jingle your purse a little bit. And then if you talk to him again after that, you get a Fabergé egg. And I guess you get him as a pet. So like once you get that, Francois notice your sizable purse and deems you as someone worthy of his time. I don't know. I think that's cute. And I feel like this is like yet another nod and a status symbol for people who are gold farmers as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome. Like the more power to those gold farmers, the better, because they work really hard.
They work way harder than I do. That's for sure.
Yeah. Like IRL and in game. So
yes, both.
If I see somebody walking around with that fancy chicken, I'm going to be like, wow,
That is a fancy chicken.
Yeah, I deem you worthy of my time.
And the Brutosaur mount.
Yeah, and that too.
Oof.
All that and I'll have either of these.
Right. I will never, ever have those things. And I'm okay with that. Although the Brutosaur would be awesome to get something like that. Not necessarily that one, but just a Brutosaur mount.
I'll just take the 5 million gold.
I'd take that too.
Because just want to give me the 5 million gold.
Sure.
I don't think I've ever had more than 200K ever on me, ever.
Yeah, me too, probably.
Spend it all on pots and food. Like in real life. I mean, what?
Oh boy. One other thing that I want to get to before we get to the comic here, Shark, and that is this. The one of the things that was noted this last week is that Blizzard is no longer going to support the 32-bit client for the launcher, right? And is it the launcher or is it just the 32-bit client for WoW? I can't remember. But
it's for operating systems.
Okay. So it's all that stuff. So they're going to be running the 64-bit version of the game, which means that they're not going to support the 32-bit version. But this all comes down at the beginning of next month, so July 1. And somebody came up with a cool little thing that said, so if they're ending that on July 1, are we going to see, I don't know, something happen July 3rd?
Because July 1 is a Sunday?
Right. And then if July 3rd is a Tuesday, could something be... Yeah, but... So, yes, the rumor mill is going nuts.
It can't be July 1st because, as I found out on our podcast last night, because our friendly Canadian Shoe Boots told me, July 1st is Canada Day.
Yeah.
Oh.
So...
We can't play video games on that day.
Yeah, it's a rule. Apparently, no.
Wow. That's pretty strict.
Yeah,
it's Canada Day.
They just have to drink Molson and play hockey and...
Yep, dress in red and white. Watch fireworks.
Ride mooses.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Venison jerky. Lots of venison jerky.
Sure.
On your account, Thyst. Make sure you're not logging in.
Okay. I won't be able to. I'm going to be walking around the States as usual, dressed in red and white, and people are going to be like, whoa.
That's a lot of red and white.
Looking good. Yeah, looking good.
Where's the blue?
At least you have the blue. At least you have
red and white, but never blue, eh?
You have your Canadian Overwatch.
Exactly.
What is it? The Overwatch
World Cup jersey.
World
yes.
Cup. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
definitely gonna be rocking that.
Like 5 sizes too big or whatever, because that's all.
There's only one left. Nice dress.
Yeah. Yeah, it works well. So everybody's thinking that as it comes to live, as all this stuff comes to live, it's looking like July 3rd, which means that Shark, I think the PTR will be next week or the week after, and that just means that all these things are moving along well, and I like that.
Roughly 3 weeks later, we get it live.
Yeah.
Roughly 3 weeks, or they would be about 4 or 5 weeks after that, we'd have that's the expansion launch date. So
and it looks like with the burning of Teldrassil scenario stuff that's going to be going on, that's going to be dropped in different parts. So I don't know how many. It could be 2 or 3 or whatever. But if they do that kind of every week or like every couple of weeks, it'll pass the time for sure to be able to before Legion hits. So we won't even notice the time gap anymore. And this has actually been really pretty beautiful when it comes down to like the overall time between expansions, between the last raid tier to this new expansion. I think it feels actually pretty good. Get a little bit of a break, get a couple of months to kind of
that's important.
Yeah,
it's like a natural life cycle of an expansion. Like it has to have time to die, so that you don't get burned out right before a new one.
Right.
I'm reminded of roughly 2 years ago on this show when we were talking about Legion coming out and Ian taking over for the team.
Yeah.
After Medicine and other folks were leaving and all these different changes that were happening, and Ian was promising we're going to get content out there faster. It's going to be happening. And I was like, yeah, right. Yeah, right. Let me see. We've heard this song and dance before. And I remember saying, I don't think it's going to happen, but I hope they make me eat my words. And they have. They have with flying colors. Yep. Those words were delicious.
Yeah.
And I ate them all.
Yep.
Because it is. I mean, it's great. It's the same. I was talking about when I got to talk to Ian kind of in the hallway at BlizzCon this past year while he was just sort of walking by. And he let me ask him one question. I'm like, I just wanted to say, hey, I have all these questions. And the one question was, is it going to keep coming out this fast? Are we going to see an expansion at the same time? He's like, sure. I mean, the pacing seems good. We want to get you content, you know?
And he does it so, I think I was there, and he does it so coolly, right? I mean, he's just so cool about it. He's like, yeah, sure. We'll just try to do that.
We're never going to tell you when.
He just kind of throws his hands up in the air and goes, yeah, no, we seem to like that too. So,
well, and they learned to stop making promises about it too. They're like, we're not going to tell you when, but it'll get out there. It'll get there sooner than it has been, and that was the right call, you know. So, yeah, it's been great. It almost feels like, I mean, definitely we haven't been raiding. You know, a lot of raid teams have quit, but
sure,
feels like it's getting out there.
And right now, I mean, people are still running trying to get the last of their tunes through the Balance of Power
quest. There's plenty of stuff to do. Yeah,
And actually, if you are looking for stuff to finish up before Legion, I know that Wowhead came out with a thing. I'm guessing a guide, because they seem to only come up with guides for everything.
Yeah.
And so it's a guide of all the things that you can do that need to finish up that are going to be going away before or at 8 point whatever, whenever Battle for Azeroth launches. So that stuff will be going away. There is quite a bunch of different things, like Mage Tower is one of those things.
Yeah, well. I hope they just turn the Mage Tower on for the last few weeks, because that's the most annoying thing. I think I'll do some Mage Tower today, and then you get in and it's not up, and you're like, ugh.
Yep. I just want to get all my guys to 110. That's
right.
That's my big thing right now.
Hate when it's not up and you're trying to.
Right.
Let's
talk. I didn't catch that. Let's talk about the new comic. Just up today, new comic. And this one is entitled Windrunner 3 Sisters. So it's a meeting, and we kind of knew that this was coming, right, through the in-game stuff, where they were going to all be meeting Sylvanas and Illyria and Valera, and they do. So, Shark, I'm going to kind of drop this at your feet, if you will.
Yes.
And go ahead.
To stop any confusion right now, those of you that are, early 20th century Russian play fans, this is not Anton Chekhov's Three Sisters. It's a little bit different.
Oof.
Sorry.
Just a little.
One person that knows what I'm talking about listening to the show right now just laughed really hard, and it's worth it. It's worth it. But anyway, man, this comic is so good. I want to say all the things about it, but that's just what I'm going to start with. This comic is so good. It's so good. The other two have been great, but this one, because it's the story. First of all, Christy Golden wrote the script for this one. I'm not sure if she wrote the script for the other two or not. I'm sure she had something to do with it, but she's credited. Her and Andrew Robinson wrote the script for this particular comic book, and it is just the story of the Windrunner sisters reuniting.
Yeah.
Which is something we've all wanted to see,
Definitely.
Sure.
And I don't want to get, I don't want to give it away because I want everybody to read the comic book. Go find it right now and read it. But they get together and they're reminiscing. What is best about this book, without giving too much away, a lot of the stuff that we're getting out of Battle for Azeroth and the things that we think is going to be happening with Sylvanas, and if you're into spoilers or not, there's this kind of like Sylvanas is being really dark and doing a lot of really crazy stuff. And, it's kind of sad, I think, for a lot of even Horde fans, like, aren't necessarily almost like they're smelling the garage on her or something. Like, this is what's going on here. Right. I mean, really with some of the stuff. And like I said, for those of you that are saving spoilers, sorry if I gave anything away. But things are dark in Azeroth right now. And this is what Horde fans needed, this book, because there's a very compassionate side of Sylvanas, I think, that comes out in this comic. So check it out.
A little bit, just an inch.
Yeah, maybe
you say that something, but a little something is better than nothing, which is what we've had up to this point. So I think it plays well.
The way I read it, I think it's perfect is how I'll say it. It's perfect for Sylvanas.
Right.
It's exactly what the kind of character we're starting to feel from her.
Yeah.
And it's just, it really, because she's not evil. She's not dark and awful and, but she's not good either.
No. She's definitely,
you know what I mean? And so, but there's this, it's just, she's so complex and it's I've said this before on the show and I'll say it again. It can't be in better hands than with Christy Golden. One of my favorite Star Wars characters of all time is Asajj Ventress out of the Clone Wars series. And Christy literally wrote the books on her, who is a very kind of dark, neutral character. And God, so she does a great job with that. And what she's doing with Sylvanas so far, it's great. It's going to be great.
Right. And by the way, Pirate Boots in the chat room says that the Christy Golden book is up for pre-order on Audible.
Ooh.
So,
for one credit.
For a credit, yeah.
Yeah, I actually got mine through Audible for one Audible credit you did. And if you're not subscribed to Audible and never have been, you can sign up and get a free credit, so you get the book for free.
There you go. And I wish I had a code, but I don't. So, oh well. Now, Gizmo, did you read the new comic and all that kind of stuff? What'd you think?
I read it today. I thought it was incredible. I don't know if I agree with Sharku completely on the compassion stuff, but it's cool. There's a touch of humanity. But
I want to talk about it in more detail for what I think about it, but we'll save that for next week's Merely Setback. Everybody's interested.
I thought that the artwork was very different. I'll put it that way, and maybe a little distracting at times. But the story was really, really good, and I thought that little meeting between those three sisters was fairly intense and very telling about who they are and what is next. Or what possibly is next. So it's good. It's good. But I think we need to leave it there because otherwise it's going to be tons of spoilers.
Yeah, I'll spoil the whole comic. Go read the comic. We'll talk about it later, folks.
Right. I know that there were a couple of things dealing with. There's been a lot of different posts from Warcraft as far as like on the forums and stuff, trying to gauge people's interactions with stuff on the beta, like all of the different class design stuff, like how are we doing with balance druids or whatever, what's the feedback, and then they'll give their own feedback on what they've seen on their end as well. Well, they're doing it again with Mythic Plus dungeons. They were asking for feedback, and I looked at everything. And this was the most pleasant forum post I have ever seen in my life. Guys, usually you find a bunch of trolls just digging holes all over the place, right? In the Mythic Plus feedback, they said, oh my God, this thing is the best addition to World of Warcraft ever. And I'm wondering if you guys agree with that. Thyst, I'll start with you. Because I know that you've done some at least, right?
Somewhat.
Some Mythic Plus dungeons.
Of course.
Yourself.
Of course.
And what did you think? One of the best additions ever?
Yes, I do. I think that I don't know, it gives more life to dungeons, and we all know that like there's a new expansion, and so there's some new dungeons. You get like 5 or 6, and then you do them, and then you keep doing them, and then you keep doing them, and then you do them on your alts, and then and it just keeps going, and they get easier because like you
outgear it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You outgear it, and also like you've got muscle memory. By the end of the expansion, you could do them with your eyes closed, But Mythic Plus, like, it doesn't change the mechanics so much as it, obviously just changes the difficulty, but it doesn't let you rest on your laurels. But it also doesn't make you feel incapable either. So it's like it's a short instance that's easy to handle and to learn and to get used to, and you're doing the slow grind, so like you're starting at 1 and you're going up to whatever you can handle.
Yep.
And even just like putting dungeons in a scope like that makes it accessible for like every type of player. It's like I can do a higher level on my main, but I can do Mythic Pluses with any of my friends, and we just like go into a lower key. So it takes these short little instances that you get sick and tired of and makes them accessible for more people, more interesting, more rewarding, more challenging. But also, it's the short little instance that you know and love. So it's not like going into a whole raid and like giving up your whole Saturday night or whatever you're doing. So I think it is one of the very best things that they've added to WoW in a really long time, because you can always do a Mythic Plus. You'll never regret it, unless you're in there with terrible people. But
you'll never regret it unless your tank is like, no, I gotta go, guys.
Maybe that wasn't. If you complete it successfully, you'll never regret it. Like doing a raid for 3 hours. It's like, wow, we did it, but
sure,
it's been 3 hours. But I don't know. I think it's genius. So right. I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, it's not like, oh god, now I'm trying to remember the dungeon in Cataclysm that took 2 hours for people to complete when it first came out. It's not like that one. The one with the dragons and you fly around and you bomb the trogs and stuff.
Oh.
Not Dunmorrow, it's something like that.
Oh.
Yeah,
it's inside the little...
Yeah. And I'm sure that the chat room's going to come up with it and just...
The dragon one.
Grimbatol.
Yeah. So that's the one. So it's not like that. It's just it's not 2 hours of your life. It's just some time with friends and go blow up some monsters and have a good time. So
get loot.
And get loot. That's the important thing, really.
Always has been.
And now it's completing your plus 15s. Mm-hmm. Get that extra.
What it did that makes it what I think is one of the best changes to the game. And like there was some chat in the chat room a second ago. It's not the best thing that's ever happened to the game as far as I'm concerned. I would say probably just, night elves would be. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god!
I was just trying to make this bad. Everybody that knows me knows how much I hate elves. Anyway, but what made it so great is that this game, and I mean, this show was started on people's love to raid. You know what I mean? Right. End game content, getting together with your friends and doing something really difficult that takes a lot of time and a lot of practice to be able to do well. And that's lost after you reach whatever your end goal is for the expansion. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some people it's killing normals or maybe just getting to, normal rating or, whatever it is. And then when people start to lose interest and your teams start to take breaks and stuff like that, everybody's experiencing right now, what are you going to do? Even in between tiers, that's something that can happen.
Yeah.
But you have the opportunity, all you need are 5 people. And you can go as there's no end in sight. If you want to get in it and do incredibly challenging content, and let's see if we got to an 18 last week, guys. That was awesome. Let's get to a 19. Let's do what we can to get to that. Let's beat this 18 so we can get a 19 key. It's great. And you can do that and you don't have to get, 20 people together to do it. You don't have to rely. You just need 5 people.
And that's why, especially during raid team breaks and stuff like that, it's so great. It's a perfect filler for all that stuff. So
it keeps the game going. It's great for them as a business model because it keeps subs happening.
Yep.
Those people that would have unsubbed until the next expansion haven't because they've been running. A lot of them.
Yep.
Are still playing because they're running Mythic Plus. So yeah.
Right. Yep, and that was a lot of the feedback that was on the forums, and the only reason that I bring this up is because it's something that it seems like everybody's really happy about, and for the most part. I mean, there are certain affixes that people don't like, especially combined together, and I mean that's always going to be a thing. But I think that when I take a look at the forums, I always see like dumpster fires just waiting to happen. And in this one, it seemed like there was constructive feedback. Nobody was really lighting fires or anything like that I saw. And I think that most of the feedback was super, super positive. So
the worst thing I've read so far is that they didn't like Mythic Plus because they were on a low pop server. It was hard to find a group.
Aw.
Right.
Fix the game,
but there's ways around that.
I really wanted to do it. It's so freaking awesome, and I couldn't find a group this one time I was looking.
Right.
And that's the worst thing. And they said it in a very polite and positive way. So.
Sure. And just kind of dovetailing into that a little bit. This last week, we already know that the Mythic Dungeon Invitational, the global finals are going to be June 22nd. And I think Thyst is very excited about that. She's been watching the MDI all year.
Pat.
What?
I'm so excited. I've been watching the MDI all year and last year.
Yeah.
And now.
Yeah.
And now there's going to be a live exhibition tournament at BlizzCon with the top 4 teams from the MDI Global Finals.
Right.
They're going to be there. And they're going to do the newest BFA dungeons live on stage in front of thousands of people.
That's awesome. So,
does it get better? No, it does not.
And
scientifically, no.
And if you like the MDI, if you like PvE content, if you have enjoyed the raid content that they used to have at BlizzCon, if you remember those days, the raid races that they had, that were always like after 2 bosses, you're like, yep, okay, this is going to be kind of an uneven match. Let's just go to sleep or something like that. So now we have the MDI, so that'll be nice. It'll be a little bit faster, a little bit more movement, fewer people to keep track of, which is nice. And we'll really get to see this stuff in action. So I'm guessing that people like Sloot and Trekkie and all the regulars are going to be back to kind of moderate this thing. It'll be really great.
Oh yeah.
So
it's going to be fantastic.
I just kind of want to lead it up. I just kind of wanted to talk about that just very, very slightly because, as I understand it, Gizmo, you've been pretty quiet, and now we're gonna make you talk because we're gonna go into Heroes of the Storm.
Turned up to 11.
That's right. So Gizmo.
Yes.
We had a bit of an announcement over this last week. I can't talk about it because I can't speak, apparently. But we had an announcement this past week about what's coming for Heroes of the Storm. And I'm super pumped. Super duper pumped about this because it features my favorite WoW battleground.
It does. And not only just I think a lot of people's favorite WoW battleground, it is our first World of Warcraft battleground coming into Heroes of the Storm. When they made this announcement that the stream was going to happen, the talk was, especially in our Lords of the Storm Discord, like, how much is the world going to burn if this isn't a World of Warcraft map? Because it's since the game came out and people knew what it was going to be, people have been writing ideas for World of Warcraft battlegrounds. And even TBK, his first World of Warcraft battleground that he wrote up on was in fact this map. And it's similar in a lot of ways. And I think that's, taking into account the mechanics. But it is Alterac Valley.
I'm gonna pause here for a big applause because and it's not like how AV is played now where people just rush at each other and fight on the bridge. It's not just that. Because we're talking about waking up those old guys, right? Those big dudes.
Yes.
And all that kind of stuff. So that looks super cool.
Yeah, it's and again, typically Heroes of the Storm's like 20, 25 minute matches. This is going to be a 3-4 day battleground. World of Warcraft. Right. No, it's around 20 minutes as well. I've done lots of testing on it. But how it works, it's very different, which of course that's kind of what Heroes of the Storm is known for, is different mechanics for a MOBA. The core for this map, instead of being a structure, is going to, on the Alliance side, which is the left side, have Vandar Stormpike, which is the dwarf.
Yeah, right.
And then on the Horde side, it is Drekthar, the orc.
Yeah.
And so the core mechanic of this map is, of course, taking down the cores. They are mobile. They will attack back. They have a health pool that regenerates if they're not being attacked. And they have 3 armor, much like in Alterac Valley, where you're trying to capture the forts and things like that. The way to get their armor down, to make them easier to take down, is by taking down a fort, or a keep.
That's
Apologies.
awesome.
Yeah, so you can,
so cool.
if you have a really big wipe, potentially you can take one down with only 1 keep down, rush in there. It's very difficult to do. So this is actually encourages taking down more structures to make winning the game easier, as opposed to pushing one lane really hard.
Right.
The aesthetic of this map is beautiful. It's incredible. You have it's very Warcraft 3-esque, looking down on it and seeing the orc structures, or the horde structures, and alliance structures. It's 3 lanes. The middle lane has a sweet death bridge right for the get-go, which is awesome. There's a bunch of great fights there, and yeah, it's incredible. I guess I should talk about the actual objective here. To the push mechanic is very interesting. So there's going to be 2 camps, one for Horde, one for Alliance, that will spawn, and you have a prisoner that you are trying to free. And to do that, you'll go and channel. Each time the objective happens, the channel time escalates. I think first it starts off at 25 seconds. And you have to guard that, keep them from channeling it back. There's orcs and humans that come out to help defend it, to try and stop you. There's some really epic team fights. And if you're able to capture those, you'll get cavalry that'll push down in each lane to help you push down structures that also buff everything by them. So it's kind of like a Tomb of the Spider Queen push mechanic, but the capturing is very different. It's really cool. It works really well.
It's so awesome. I just love that they are doing this kind of a battleground map, and it's so tailored just for AV fans, and it looks amazing, and the mechanics are super cool, and I love this. I love this.
Yeah, and it's on the PTR now. It went on the PTR as soon as they announced it, so you guys can check it out.
Awesome.
There are probably a few things that need to be tweaked here and there, numbers-wise. But overall, it's incredible. I think it has the potential to become one of, if not my favorite map in the game. So,
so cool.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. Love this.
But
go ahead.
It's not all. That's not all.
That's
they did.
not all.
It's not all.
What else? It's not all.
It's not all.
It's not all. Not snot all. Okay.
What else?
What else happened?
They're going full-fledged into this Horde and Alliance thing. There are some sweet new skins that are coming to go themed with this. There's a Varian skin that I believe represents the Season 1 PvP. I don't know what the rating thing was, but if you got like the top rating, you unlock that armor set. There is a Valera rogue set. There is Yrel, a spirit healer, which is like the grave. What are they called? Grave keepers, or
they're called spirit healers, Giz.
Yeah.
Yes, they're called spirit healers.
Yeah, I don't know how I would have missed that. And then there's a Muradin Vandar Stormpike skin. Which are cool. They're all cool. But the Horde skins they did for this, they're doing
they are
crossovers. The most amazing skin so far coming to this game is a Goblin Junkrat.
Right. I saw that.
Oh, gosh, it's incredible.
It looks pretty sweet.
It's so good. There's an orc Johanna.
She looks amazing. Oh my god.
And then there's the a Garrosh skin that's for the PvP side, for the Horde side, and a Drekthar Rhaegar skin.
Nice.
So we don't know how they're going to be yet. If they're, they're doing a chest thing, or if it's going to be bundles. I imagine it'll be bundles.
Right.
But those are. But hat.
Yeah.
That's not all either.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, you're breaking my heart right now. I'm so excited for all of this stuff.
I'm going to bet, Pat, that you're really going to like this one.
Oh boy. All right. What's going on?
We have our next hero announcement.
What?
And it is our first Draenei character for Heroes of the Storm, which people have been wanting.
Is it what? Who is it? I was gonna guess like a whole bunch of weird names, but I was
gonna say you're really close. It's it's Yrel.
Oh, look at that!
Draenei Paladin.
I had no idea, even though I wrote the show notes.
Nice.
Yep.
So she's cool as well. I'm not gonna go deep into her, but I'll go through kind of her play style here really quick. She's gonna be a warrior. Who they say can play kind of a tank bruiser role. Her playstyle is really interesting. She's not really my cup of tea, but I think her kit is really cool. Her Q Vindication is like an AoE damage that heals her. Her W's Righteous Hammer, that is a conal effect that can knock enemies away and potentially stun them. And then her E is Avenging Wrath, where it's a leap, much like Muradin, but it's on a much shorter cooldown. The way her kit is built to work, though, is alongside her trait, Divine Purpose, that you can activate to cast your next basic ability at full charge. All of her basic abilities can be cast immediately, or you can charge them up. It's, I think, 1.5 seconds to fully charge, and you move at 25% slower speed. But they're more powerful. If you do that with the hammer, it knocks them back and then stuns them for 0.75 seconds. So you can use your traits to cast these immediately at full charge.
Cool.
That being said, there's a lot of CC in this game. Stuns and stuff seem to be really strong against her. Her sustain's really good. She hits like a pillow, unfortunately. So it's really interesting. She's kind of like a Tyrael Zarya role, I think, is what she's going to fit.
Okay.
But it's cool to have her in game. We have our first Draenei.
Awesome.
And her alt skin is going to be like a Harley Quinn type skin, which is awesome.
Oh, that's also awesome.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite villains.
Yes.
So
there's just a lot to digest here for people. But
well, I guess, but that's all up at the PTR right now, so it's going to be coming. Very soon.
The PTR. I believe. I'm actually not sure when the Battleground Alterac is supposed to come. I believe Yrel is going to be a week from Tuesday, but the Battleground might be as well.
Okay.
Depending on the thing they need to make.
It's definitely something to watch for. And this, I think that Heroes of the Storm is really knocking it out of the park with a lot of these different themes that they're doing. Next Mania was amazing, terrific, awesome. The artwork was so stunning, and the play was cool, and all that kind of stuff. So with this new map, I don't even know, man. My mind was just blown when I saw all the stuff that they were doing with this. So
yeah,
I'm digging it.
And we know Hanamura is coming back, fairly soon as well.
Okay.
So I think this is the 15th Battleground they've put in the game.
Wow.
So it's getting up there. But if you guys haven't checked out Heroes of the Storm yet, and you were, an Alterac Valley person back in the day, there's no better time to hop in and just check out Heroes of the Storm.
And who wasn't? I just remember those bridge fights. Now you can have bridge fights in Heroes of the Storm.
Can't. What? And they have the horn sounds.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, man. All of the nostalgia is, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty amazing.
I hate AV so much.
I love that.
I hate it so much.
I just remember playing it at level. Basically, when I was leveling up my hunter, I played PvP pretty much from 60 to 80. And I did a little bit of questing because I was really just kind of burnt out on questing. I'm like, no way. So I just leveled up in PvP. So I was doing AV all day because that was such great XP, and it was like, you had so many people to try to pick off. So it was great. It was awesome. So I'm really happy that it's there, and I think that a lot of people are. Even if
it looks awesome, and the map in HOTS looks great.
Yes.
I still hate AV.
Well, it's.
Are you wanting to check this out, Thyst? I hate AV too.
I've had it blacklisted for, but yes.
Yeah.
If you're on
this and I are the only ones that play Horde anymore, so
you have a chance of winning this time.
I've played it recently.
Yeah,
that's right.
I'm not doing Battlegrounds with it. So.
Well, I want those skins and I want the banners. I want all the Horde stuff. I want to play AV. In HOTS.
It looks really cool. Like all the different skins and stuff like that look amazing. So as usual, they're
gorgeous.
Yeah, they're good. That team is good. That's all there is to it. You know what? Another team that's good, Overwatch.
You won't get rid of me that easily.
That's right. And there was something just released today from Jeff from the Overwatch team. Everybody loves him.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a couple of new social things coming into the game, don't they, Thyst?
They do indeed.
What's up?
So we've got endorsements and looking for group.
Yep.
Oh my god. So endorsements, you can recognize players in 3 different ways. So sportsmanship, if someone on your team or the opposite team is being a good sport, you can endorse them. Good teammate, only on your team. If one of your teammates is being a good teammate, you can endorse them. If you have a shot caller on your team who's doing a really great job of, directing or making suggestions or straight up shot calling, you can endorse them. And so you get 3 endorsements per match, 1 endorsement per player, and you can only endorse a player every 12 hours. So players who maintain a high endorsement level will be rewarded periodically. You'll get new icons indicating the level of your endorsement you have over time. And I don't know, it's kind of a different way to, like, they're always looking for different ways to quote unquote punish bad players for bad behavior.
Right.
And that's working, and it's a thing, but it's quite negative. And this is just an alternate way to just sort of encourage people not to be toxic, because with these endorsement levels, like, people are going to want to play with you if your endorsement level is high. You're going to get rewarded if your endorsement level is high. It's another thing to work towards,
Sure.
And the other thing go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, you mentioned LFG. It's going to be pretty important, I think, when it comes to stuff like that. When you take a look at
exactly.
LFG, because they're doing it a little bit. I mean, they have to do it a little bit differently than WoW, because basically LFG right now is, hey, you're queuing into a game.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, with looking for group.
Yeah.
It's, you can literally put in I want people in my group with this level of endorsement. And if you don't have that, they're not going to invite you into this group. So it's I don't know, it's just a way to show, if you're not a toxic player, it's a way to prove that, and if you are, it's a way for people to see that, you're probably not somebody that anybody wants to play with. So
and it sounds like the way that they're going to do endorsements is kind of like player ranking in a way. They're going to kind of work it like competitive ranking, where once you get to whatever level, if you don't get endorsed after games anymore, if you start slipping a little bit, your ranking will actually come down a little bit. So it'll have a little bit of a decay on it. So you always want to make sure to get endorsed. So give it a thumbs up, give it a like, whatever it is that they're gonna do. give me an endorsement. Blah blah blah. Make sure to like this. Make sure to like my video. Wait, what? Oh no.
No, not that. Not that bad. But yeah, it's another cool way to just like tell somebody that they did a good job rather than just like voting for them, giving them a card at the end of the game. And it adds like a nice layer of positivity to Overwatch, which I think is thoroughly needed. And then with looking for group, it's completely like a new page. It's a find group page. It shows your title, the leader name, the endorsement level, the queue, so you can like list it as quick, comp, arcade, etc. And then there's like hero slots, and when you make your own group, you can choose the game mode. You can choose whether or not there's voice chat. Choose to enforce roles. So like it's kind of like WoW that way. It's like if you want like tank heals, damage, then you can enforce that, or you can just make it whatever. But yeah, and your group preferences and level of endorsement. And so that's kind of cool. I checked that out, and it is a lot like WoW, but obviously there's a lot more things. And I just think it is really cool that they included the new endorsement level thing, because that's just going to encourage people to be good. Be nice.
Right.
Be good players.
Not get good, but be good.
Exactly. So more social systems are coming. So there's apparently 2 more coming this summer and another later in the year. So I don't know what that's going to be, but these 2, like, these are complete game changers right here. And like, I'm really excited to see how this goes. And I'm really excited to see, I think the Overwatch community at large is going to really embrace this whole endorsement system. And I hope that it becomes like a point of pride for like Overwatch players, you know. It's like, oh, my endorsement's at 12 and yours is at 11. Good for you, you know. Like I hope it's a thing. I hope they make it a thing.
I just hope that they don't get too crazy with it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it should be about the play, and it should be about all that stuff. And I think there gets to be, endorsements are nice, don't get me wrong. And it seems like it's definitely a positive take on the game. And I think that it's needed for the game, especially when they introduce something like LFG, where you're like, hey, I want friendly players. That's it. I want them to be, you know,
please be nice.
I want them to be friendly and good and team players and whatever. So I want people that kind of understand the big picture on this.
Exactly.
So I get that, but I just hope that they don't make it into its own game, because that could be kind of disheartening for some.
But like, how bad could that be? It's like, I'm gonna make it a game to be as good as possible, like as nice to people as possible. Like, that's fine, you know. Like, some people, it's a game to be as terrible as possible.
Yes. They don't end up playing that game for very long, though, if they're trying for that stuff.
Jeff Money Kaplan won't stand for that, Pat.
Do either of the fellas have an opinion about the new systems that are going in?
Yeah. I think this has really, really great potential for it, and I'm excited if something like this works in Overwatch, that they may bring something like this to Heroes of the Storm, because they kind of share these type of systems between each other a lot. The one thing that came to mind for me, with you kind of mentioned it and hoping it doesn't turn into some sort of game, is that how often did you say you could vote for someone, Thyst?
Every 12 hours.
Every 12 hours. Like, I hope people actually vote for people that were helpful, communicative, nice in game, and that this doesn't turn into something to where it's just another MVP award.
Right. And
it's the good players.
Cheesing is definitely a thing, and all that kind of stuff. And so I don't necessarily want to see this be. I don't want to see too much of an emphasis put on it, but you know, some emphasis is fine, especially when it comes to the LFG stuff. So
yeah,
totally.
I don't know. Shark, you have any opinions on this stuff?
I think it's great. I think it's good.
All right.
We'll see.
Okay.
I don't play enough Overwatch to really have a whole lot. But I mean, anytime you're bringing people together, I think it's going to, you know, obviously it's going to alter the game.
Yeah.
As far as, you know, it's the same thing. Some of the complaints with LFG in WoW was that it, you know, made that finding people waiting and spamming to find a group. Now it's almost like the reverse of that. Is what they're doing for Overwatch. You know what I mean? So it's actually maybe even going to where now you're trying to look and find friends or find whatever.
Right. And this is just kind of like the bigger looking for group stuff that was in WoW too, but it's a little bit different. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens, and I think that this will be a good way to hopefully for some folks to make some new friends and
absolutely and to feel safer playing this game, because some people don't want to play Overwatch because of mean players, and I think this will be good. And this is fairly unprecedented, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm really excited to see how it pans out.
Yep. Speaking of bad players, do we want to talk about Symmetra changes?
I want to talk about Symmetra changes.
They are so. Also, along with all of this stuff, they came out with some hero changes for an upcoming patch, or is it live now?
It's on the PTR.
It's on the PTR
right now. Yeah, you can try out new Symmetra.
All right. Well, I will try it before it goes live next week or whatever. They're changing everything.
Yeah, and before I talk about that, I just wanted to mention that they have merged offense and defense heroes in Overwatch. They're now just damage. So there's damage, tank, and support. That's it. So Symmetra is now a damage hero. She used to be support, and now she's damage. And that's important to note because she's quite different. So her energy ball now deals splash damage. So it explodes on impact. It doesn't just like go through things.
Right.
It just explodes on impact, and it'll deal splash damage in a certain range. Her primary fire will generate ammo instead of consuming it if she's attacking a barrier. So this means not only is she good at taking down barriers, but she's just good at generating charge off barriers, which is important. Her teleporter is now a regular ability. So she's able to deploy the teleporter like any other ability of hers. And you place the exit like you would normally do, except that you can place it up to 25 meters away instead of right only in front of you. And then when you place the exit, the entrance automatically gets built right in front of you instead of at your spawn. So you can how Reaper wraiths up places, and you can kind of move his wraith someplace. So she just tosses it like Sombra tosses her displacer, and then you can teleport there. And not only can she teleport people, but she can teleport things. So she can teleport Diva's mech or Junkrat's rip tire.
Wow.
So
That's actually pretty cool, and I think that would make for some very interesting gameplay, especially in competitive. Like for Overwatch League and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That could be really great.
That's it's weird, and it only stays up for a few seconds, but it I know that there's so many different things and new opportunities that are going to be figured out soon, and I can't think of any of them, but I know it's huge. Her primary weapon no longer locks on, and this is what I'm upset about the most. No, it's not. To be clear, I'm not upset about these Symmetra changes. I think that overall she's an amazing hero now. She's incredibly viable and really interesting. But I'm just so good at old Symmetra that I'm sad about it, but I'll get over it. So she doesn't lock onto a target anymore. She's got a straight beam in front of her that's thick, and it's got an increased range.
Kind of like Zarya.
Exactly. Right? Yeah. So it deals more damage as it charges. It's still got the potential to gain extra damage by dealing damage like it does in live. But instead of going from 30 to 60 to 120, it's now 65, 130 to 195. Right. So it's harder to shoot people, but it's more powerful.
Right. And the other thing is you only get three of those sentry turret thingies.
Yes.
Right.
Only 3 turrets now, but they have 30 HP instead of 1, which is great.
Right.
And she can shoot them now, so she can just stick them wherever she wants. Just shoots them somewhere, and then they stick to a wall. Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
It actually sounds pretty cool. It's just it's going to be a very different type of game for Symmetra players. So
but her ult though, Pat.
Oh yeah.
Her ult instead of so it's her teleporter is like a regular ability now. Her ult is this giant infinite-sized shield with 5,000 health. She places it like how May places her ice wall, so she can place it like this way or that way, and it goes across the map infinitely. Like it covers the whole map.
Right.
So like people can't like shoot through it until it's dead. You can walk through it, but like just like with her teleporters and just like being able to use those and then being able to wall off entire parts of the map, like she can like wall off places in the map that she's not even at yet. Like her team can say, "Oh my God, Symmetra, can you put up something in front of you right now, even though you're back at the spawn?" Because it's infinite. Like it's
right.
really cool to see. So there's so much to learn about her now, and she's available. The new Symmetra is on PTR, and you definitely have to try her because it is crazy.
Yeah.
Is there a timer on the time limit?
No, I don't think so.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to try that out in PTR. So many things to check out. So many different new things coming, especially to HOTS and Overwatch. Very, very cool, though. I mean, it could be a really neat change for Symmetra, which is great. So, because I think that's been one of the things that they've been looking at, I think, through the Overwatch League and through a bunch of other competitive stuff where they're like Symmetra just doesn't play a lot.
Yeah, she hasn't been super viable, and she's got a 0 pick rate in Overwatch League, so hopefully now she'll be picked.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hope so.
Anything else, guys, as far as other stuff that maybe I didn't put in the notes? I don't know. It can happen.
They changed up Horizon Lunar Colony a little bit. So point B is a little more difficult to get to from the spawn room, and there's way more palm trees and a potato farm.
Wow. All right. Potato farm.
On the moon, Pat.
You heard it here, guys. You heard it here.
That's where I spend most of my time because I am a potato.
They call them moon spuds.
Oh boy.
Oh my God.
Why you know that? I know why you know that, and it's I don't like that you know that. All right, so we're gonna go, but before we do, I'm gonna play this music, and the guys, we're gonna go around the room. This time we're gonna go from right to left, my right, and we'll see what's going on with these guys and how you can find them and all that kind of good stuff. Gizmo. You're up. What do you got on tap for tomorrow night's Lords of the Storm?
Oh, I'm sure we will be talking a lot about Echoes of Alterac.
You've got nothing going on at all.
Yeah, that's nothing. Yeah, we'll be talking about the map a little bit more in depth on Yrel, kind of talking about what place we think she may have, what some of the feedback has been on her, but overall should be a great time. And that is Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Central. You can find myself, all the places, Gizmozord, twitch.tv/Gizmozord.
Awesome.
Come by, hang out. Be good to see you.
Cool. And Shark, I'm guessing that your next Merely a Setback podcast is going to deal all about the Three Sisters, right?
I do believe we are probably going to talk about that a lot. We'll see. We haven't really planned it out yet. But check out this week's episode that I just put up today.
Oh, yeah.
Scott Johnson joined us, and it was great. We had a whole lot of fun talking about stuff. We played WoW Trivial Pursuit with him. It was great. So check that out. Setback Podcast on Twitter.
Uh-huh.
And, yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Thyst.
Hi.
Other than Battlenet News, of course, and Battlenet Sports, you know, the life we live Tuesdays and Wednesdays now. What else is going on?
Well, Lagging Balls is coming out sometime this week, and we have 2 special guests that you might be interested to hear from if you like watching the Overwatch League. And the LB stream, the stream in which Thorn and I just talk about nothing but like to hang out with people on Fridays. We're giving away our last BlizzCon ticket. We've already given away 2 to 2 lucky random people, one of which lives in Australia. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But our last ticket is still up for grabs. You can still enter to win. So check out Lagging Balls on Twitter @LaggingBalls for more information.
Right on. And if you want to join in on the fun on Twitter to talk to me, I'm at Pat Creighton with a K. All right, I had to do that right before the music stopped. And then I played this music, and away we go. Make sure to also join in on the conversations we're having on the tweets at Convert to Raid. That's who you follow for the things. And, of course, all the cast of this show. And make sure to join the Bazooba Nation by heading over to converttoraid.com. That's where we have the show downloads, the Discords infos, the videos, the audios, the guild stuffs, all the things, really. The Convert to Raid podcast network, featuring shows from these three guys and all of the regular players on CTR. So make sure to go over to converttoraid.com. That is going to do it for the show. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Gizmo. Thanks, Shark. Thanks, Thyst.
Yeah.
Thanks, chat room. It's been lovely hanging out with you guys. And it's been lovely hanging out to all of you guys, no matter where you are, in the car or at work or I don't know, out for a dog walk. It's a very long dog walk. It's like an hour-long dog walk at this point. But you made it.
It's a substantial walk.
You made it to the end. It's a substantial walk. So congratulations, everybody. and we'll convene next week for another fine show. That's it. But we hope you had a good time. And for all the guys on Convert to Raid, bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I've only had to do this a couple times where I've had to steal the video and or audio off of the Twitch saved video stuff. Oof, that's always scary when you have to do that, though. That's
yeah.
I did that once.
It's gotten better, but I remember when they weren't saving that stuff. You know, I'm old school like that.
I don't do that either. I only say one. Hope for the best.
Right. So
we've never had a problem in 3 years though on LB. I almost lost one show once, and then I had to download this program that resurrects things that you've already deleted out of your garbage folder.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was it.
And all you found were a bunch of pics from.
I don't throw those away, okay? I save those. Special
funny.
drive. D drive.
Space potatoes. It was the moon potatoes.
Moon spuds.
Moon spuds.
Yes, saw those too. Yeah. Those are special.
I need an adult.
You won't find any here, buddy.
That's funny.